Yeah, so we have Detonation Gaming's Matsumoton in blue at the bottom of the screen, and KIX team TongZi in red at the top of the screen.
See some cycling here, Matsumoton. Trying to just get the Ice Bear out of there. Just do chip damage, but really wasn't anything significant, more so than trying to just get to that next card. Made it available.
Yeah, interesting that it is just a cycle and there's nothing else. Usually, if it would be an Expo deck, we'd see the Expo or Test the Tower come down straight away, because that double elixir time doesn't really make much difference with the Expo deck. So I don't think we're going to be seeing that from Matsumoton here.
Well, we all know that the Ice Golem is one of the key parts for an Expo cycle deck. We've seen that in the past.
Yeah, but you can, as you said earlier, you can easily substitute that with a Knight.
Yeah.
And it doesn't make that much of a difference to the Expo deck, because all you want from your Ice Golem or the Knight is to tank the damage.
Right.
And they're about equal, I think, in HP.
So we're going down to this 1 minute and 40-second mark, and no card being played, so we're probably going to have to guess that it's going to get very close to that 1 minute mark as both players will go all in. But speaking of what I've been saying, broken apart, this 1 minute and 30-second mark. Goblin Gang being summoned by Matsumoton. Yeah. Stopped right there by TongZi.
So we're going to see what looks like a charge deck here for Matsumoton. Doesn't connect, and the Prince just easily taking out those Barbarians. And an Elixir Collector coming down from Matsumoton. But in response, here is a Knight. Here is a Giant. Has to use the Miner on defense with the Minion Horde. Will it get arrowed out here? There it goes. This is going to deal so much damage.
Uh-oh, this is looking very, very bad for Matsumoton. That Prince and the Giant. Although we know how deadly that can be.
Yeah, and now he only has 50 seconds to come up with a reply. And it's got to be a big reply. Needs a double Elixir Collector here. What is he going to throw out? This needs to be a big push. There's the 3 Musketeers. That's not the kind of push you need when there's 30 seconds left and you're a tower down and you've done no damage at all.
Okay, so this is looking like a situation where Matsumoto is going to be crumbled down to pieces. The Giant's going to be going for all here. The arrow knocking down the Minion Gang once again.
Yeah, does use that Miner this time aggressively. There's the battering ram, but with 13 seconds left, I don't think he's going to be able to do 2,000 damage. Uses the arrows. The battering ram doesn't connect. And that, as they say, is that. TongZi takes game number 1.
Quite easy there, and Matsumoton, he was going to be breaking the silence. Obviously, with that 1 minute 30-second mark, he summoned this Goblin Gang, and thought he was a little bit smart.
Matsumoton in blue and TongZi in red. What are we going to see this time?
It's hard to tell. I think the first question we should be asking is, are they going to wait for 1 minute once again?
No, because down comes a Bandit from TongZi. That means we're probably going to see a charge deck, and we see the charge deck once again coming from Matsumoton. Does like using this battering ram. There's the Royal Ghost. Don't see that very often.
Royal Ghost, very, very typical when it comes to just battering out multiple Barbarians. And he sees it getting the damage done.
There's another Bandit.
No,
very quick side.
No, but it came from Matsumoton this time.
And this time, Matsumoton is going for this very early on, and I think that is the much better choice. The Miner there, it has to walk to the tower. It doesn't get transported there. Poison coming down to make sure that the Elixir Collector doesn't get the full value.
Okay, so what does this mean now for Matsumoton? Not really to get the full value out of the Elixir Collector. How can he just defend himself out of this? So the battle ram, really not trying to even get to the other tower, but mostly about just defending out against the Bandit, and really not much happening here. As you see, the Electro Wizard helping out the Royal Ghost, clear out that unit, trying to defend Al's tower.
Yeah, the Royal Ghost is so good going forward, especially if he can go invisible before dying. No, but does get one hit.
Yep.
It looks like TongZi once again has a very strong advantage in this matchup, especially with the cards we've seen so far. Dart Prince comes in, but the minions just above his head are going to easily make light work of that and do some damage to the tower.
Look at that, Elixir Collector's always accounted for as the poison comes out just automatically as soon as he sees it. And TongZi's going to be there to make sure that Elixir Collector doesn't pump out as much as it could.
Here's a Bandit, and it's going to connect to the tower. That's going to deal so much damage, even with those two Musketeers there. Down to 918. Matsumoton is on the ropes right now. TongZi controlling this nice and easy.
Now, Matsumoton summoned those 3 Musketeers after he saw the bandit being summoned on the other side. So, you got to understand, probably his mindset was to just literally go all or nothing here. And something that we don't usually see out of the Japanese players. You're going to see this game punished right here. The miner really not being accounted for. Nothing much you can do. With
that poison, the trigger will be about the 200 mark, which will clear it out, especially with the minions once again connecting on the tower on that bottom left-hand side. But it's all or nothing now for Matsumoton. He does need to connect to the tower. He does need to finish it because that tower is getting incredibly low. There's the 3 Musketeers. That 1 Musketeer will take out the Electro Wizard, protecting that 382 tower.
But the Royal Ghost.
But the Royal Ghost, Pekka takes out the other 2 Musketeers.
Yeah.
So this is a very dangerous situation now for Matsumoton. In comes the charge from TongZi.
Okay, but the bandit does get the charge. Pekka's still left alone.
Yeah, it does easily make light work of that, and the Pekka will connect onto that tower, but the poison comes down. Miner connects. That is game over. TongZi takes game number 2 and takes set number 1 in incredibly convincing fashion. He played amazingly well.
Southeast Asia, are they on the ropes here? Are they here making KOO instead of Lewis+koo, which we're more accustomed to? It's not going to be appearing today due to sickness. Can be up against the Rock and Dylan for the side of KIX. It's going to be up at the top, the Japanese side. Detonation Gaming at the bottom.
Yeah, so both teams now kind of just, I don't know whether they're waiting for the double elixir mark or if they're just like, let's wait until the opponent makes the first move. And the opponent has made the first move. There it is, Golem and Dark Prince. Golem and Prince on the other side. The way this trades usually is the Prince will win out over the Dark Prince.
Does the AoE damage over time.
There's a Pekka there as well. There's the Inferno Dragon on the defense for both sides. There is a Pekka here for Detonation Gaming, which is going to do a lot of work. But Detonation Gaming's Golem did die first. But there's so many units that are sitting inside that poison that they're all going to die. Down goes the Prince.
The poison trying to finish everything off here, but the Electro Wizard just going to get a few hits before it dies out.
Yep, I'd say the way it's looking right now, this is going to be an incredibly back and forth game. Both teams playing very similar decks. And there we go. There's the opposite way around this time for KIX, who are going for that Dark Prince and Golem instead of the Prince and Golem that they did the first cycle. There's a lightning spell used there, taking out the tower. The Inferno Dragon is going to go, but the Rage Potion's put down. The poison is there. The Golem does connect with the tower. 1 hit, 2 hits. The explosion damage comes in. Poison's still going. Down to 1,155. That's incredible. But this push from Detonation Gaming is incredibly strong. Double Prince, the Inferno Dragon, the Mega Minion. Will this connect to a tower? The answer is no.
Trying to provide all the defense to make sure they are set and ready to go. Defense, and KIX did a good job on that occasion. Trying to make sure they provide the fire back when the time is right. See the Golem being summoned on both sides again.
The Pekka makes such a difference here for Detonation Gaming in the defense. There's a Rage, there's a Graveyard used. Interesting, and a freeze. That Golem just walks right past absolutely everything. And once again connects on the tower. KIX with a massive advantage at this point.
See right there as the freeze happens, and also just talking about the Graveyard being handled quite well with the poison.
Lightning coming in does take out a lot of hit points out of that push. The Pekka continues marching forward, but the Inferno Dragon will easily take that down. Mega Minion versus guards, Mega Minion versus Mega Minion. Will that Knight go through? But he's going to get completely destroyed by the tower. 394 left on that bottom right-hand side. Both Golems placed on the bridge.
We know that KIX does have their poison. He's going to use it offensively here, so we're going to see who gets the first strike, as that will be the end of it as we see KIX. That last Golem push, 357. Not much of a scoff to really go at here, because we know that's going to be relatively easy to take because they did have that poison open. So offensive use right there for that last. Extend this over to a winning record. It's going to be very dependent here, and also More important for the entire region as a whole, Southeast Asia can come right at even, toe-to-toe with Japan. With a win right here, could get them into a 4-4 win record, which will be very important for these guys.
And it sends a very strong message to their opponents next week, like, do not take us lightly. We will dominate you if you play anything like you played in week 3.
Hey, look at this. This is what they're saying. If they're going to pull even with Japan, 4-4, they're going into next week telling Korea that what you experienced in week 3 might just happen again in week 5 against us now. And that's a scary composition to go with.
Yeah, in that position, Korea just would be easily classed as the weakest region we have.
Definitely, and I think week 5 will tell us the biggest story of what the power rankings are, especially between the regions. It's hard to tell between Japan and Southeast Asia right now. We still think Japan might be just a little bit stronger altogether, but still that 1 and 2 is a little bit shady, a little bit gray in the area. But once we get the week 5 results out of the way, where if Korea basically does not perform and does not show up, and Southeast Asia does exactly the same thing that Japan did in week 3 against them, we can get a very clear 1 and 2 and a much clearer with number 3 in the rankings.
Yeah, it'd be rock, paper, scissors, but the rock is actually made out of paper mache kind of thing.
Oh,
you
no.
know?
Even the scissor can defeat that one.
Exactly. That's what I mean. Like, it'd be so close, but then the third place is so weak that it's just a 2-horse race. Nobody likes a 2-horse race in terms of regions. In terms of teams, it's anybody's game, let's be honest. But they are waiting for this double elixir time.
Exactly, as you're talking about the horse race, we might get this on here. Just all-in push. Double elixir time. Nothing summoned yet? Eh?
Maybe they're just going to tie this one out. We're going to be sitting here for another 4 minutes of absolutely nothing happening. Nobody wants to make the first move here, purely because it will reveal a little bit too much. 15 seconds into double elixir time, nothing being played, and we're going down into 20 seconds. Where are the units? Have their hands froze? What is going on?
They might have used a free spell on their hands.
But then it's both teams. 30 seconds left. Who is going to make the first move? This is like a standoff at high noon. Nobody wants to pull the trigger. There we go.
That's an early golem, though. And a P.E.K.K.A to just counter right back.
Everything's been summoned now. We're going to see after there's a Rage Potion. The Golem trying to get through, but the P.E.K.K.A is going to make light work of that. The Inferno Dragon at the back connected with the Mega Minion. Does get a few hits on the tower. The Prince almost got there, just barely missing, and I'm having a heart attack.
It's a weird situation where we have right here. Let's see how they work this through. See, once again, typical double Prince right behind the Golem of KIX.
Yeah, the Golem of Detonation Gaming does get frozen there.
Yeah.
And that means this Golem can go to town on that tower.
Still getting multiple hits before it does get exploded. And down to 1070 now. The couple of explosions that will come its way, it's going to be down to 827.
Yeah, and there's still a strong defense. Will they be able to stop this push? Wow, that is a lot of elixir push right there.
They have like something like a rocket right here. This would be perfect.
Here comes the Graveyard of Poison as well.
Okay, Poison used on seemingly defense here, but I think it's going to be offense poison as well, just a little bit.
Yeah, there was both offensive poison and defensive poison, and goodness, KIX Gaming has a huge advantage at this point. Detonation Gaming have to keep up the pressure to try and defend from the front, but will they be able to?
Yeah, going to be everything summoned out here.
There's a freeze potion, just allowing that Golem to walk through absolutely everything, but the Inferno Dragons will connect onto it. That's going to clean it up well before it gets to the tower.
But
look at the damage at the top.
Yeah, the top has been damaged quite heavily there. 751 finally cleared out. Now we're going to see Detonation Gaming, can they just push in here for the win? Because going for the offensive poison, trying to make sure they get the most out of this one, and still looking like it has been fully cleared. Everything is still on there. Electro Wizard, the pesky one, really having a hard time to get rid of that one.
Incoming poison there from Detonation Gaming, making sure there is nothing coming in this push. Oh, it's so close to connecting. This is looking really bad now for KIX. They were in such a commanding position for so long, and they kind of lost it right now. P.E.K.K.A comes down once again to stop that Golem with the Inferno Dragon there as well. There's a freeze!
Okay,
How much damage will this guy do?
743, it doesn't do, yeah, it just explodes. It doesn't even do a single damage before it explodes, so 294. I think if he can just hold out this push here, but this is going to be very difficult to push out here.
Yeah, I just don't think it's going to be possible. They do activate the King Tower, but it doesn't matter. That tower is down. Detonation Gaming taking game number 2.
It's definitely not over quite yet, KIX. It's going to be led up to game 3. Can get to one more game. And Prince, anything you talk about 4 Elixir being doesn't seem too big, but when there's an additional defense force can stop a rush coming in from your opponents, that 4 Elixir that's being used on the offensive end with the freeze has been really punished when it comes to KIX really not having any more defensive efforts after that.
Yeah, no one's waiting anymore, but first thing, that P.E.K.K.A. is in front of the Golem, which means it's going to take a lot of damage from that Knight. Ideally, you want that P.E.K.K.A. behind the Golem so that it's protected, but it's not going to be protected here. In comes that Rage. How much work are they going to do with this Rage Potion right now?
So again, 2 Elixirs being used just to get that P.E.K.K.A. across. The Golem across, but it's going to be more about how long they can be stopped here. See the Golem still looking like they're trying to make their rush in, but Detonation Gaming not getting the best out of that first rush coming in.
Yeah, KIX got a lot better from there, 1,220 to 2,375, but we do have the double Dark Prince, Mega Minion, and Electro Wizard that survived that defense, and suddenly this is dangerous for KIX because that Golem is going to go down long before he even crosses the bridge.
Electro Wizard has to be found an answer to, because that's what KIX has had the toughest time trying to defend against, because it was constantly slowing down and stunning out their his units, and really had a hard time trying to counter back right against that, because Electro Wizard, if you let it stay alive for a long time, there's not much you can do.
Yeah, even though that Golem was at half HP crossing the bridge, the Golemites managed to do a ton of damage and got that tower down to 818. I think that was about 300-400 damage, which is really, really good at this point. KIX, once again, have this advantage going into the final minute. Will they be able to hold it this time? Because they had it last time and they lost it. Will they be able to do it?
KIX right here, they're just having the P.E.K.K.A. on the left, but the Golem on the right side, thinking that they want to go all in on the right. They just gave up on the left tower. It's important that they defend out, though. That's the most important thing. Can they defend out? Trying to see the poison
Golem there. And they're not defending whatsoever on that top right. The race is on. Who will win this race? Look at that top right tower. Top left tower goes down. Both towers are down. So we still have 30 seconds left.
3 crowns.
Whose push is going to go for the 3 crown here? It does look as though Detonation Gaming have an advantage here.
Okay, the Golems are not being stopped right now. The guards trying to
the Inferno Dragon did connect there, but the Electro Wizard dropped down.
Okay, the Electro Wizard trying to get that down as well. The Inferno Dragon now going to connect, and there's no stopping it now. The freeze to make sure everything does connect, and KIX ends this series all in pop here as they do get that win over Detonation Gaming.
Yeah, you can see what it means to them. They came into this week 0-2, 0-3, and now they win 2.